What if I told you that your everyday knowledge about local traffic patterns and landscaping in your neighborhood could help you learn to do science? If you immediately thought that information has nothing to do with science, then I'd say we're probably thinking about science in different ways. For me, science is a set of practices that scientists do. For example, asking questions, creating methods and data displays, and using evidence to generate conclusions. In my field, we call this a science as practice perspective. And by focusing on what scientists do rather than what they study, it means that science can happen just about anywhere. So why then would I bring up local traffic patterns and landscaping? Well, in general, most people know the everyday places that they spend their time really well. So if I want to make doing science approachable and relevant to everyday life, it makes sense to have folks learn to do science based on their local and everyday experiences. This is called place-based education, and I use it specifically to teach ecology. For the students I'm currently working with in my dissertation, this takes the form of investigating and discerning between natural and human causes of differences in plant communities in their schoolyards. And though most of my students do not have a strong background in ecology, I've noticed that they are able to use their everyday knowledge in the investigations. The students are using the data they collected in the field, as well as their knowledge of where they play and where mowing happens and where they are dropped off and picked up every day to make inferences about the plant communities. And it's beautiful because they're literally doing science and seeing the discipline as real and relevant in their daily lives. So my work explores these place-based education experiences and looks at three things: what everyday knowledge students have about these local places, how they use that place knowledge when learning to do science, and how that place knowledge shifts when doing science. I do this by creating theories about how I think learning will happen, and then lesson plans that support these theories. Then I test and refine these theories and lesson plans many times to make them fit the places, students, and ecological topics I am working with. Science does not happen in a vacuum. It happens in places that are made up of politics and cultures and histories, and is done by people that have different backgrounds, races, ethnicities, and identities. If we want children to be excited about doing science throughout their lives and think critically about the scientific knowledge and practices that they encounter, then we have to start openly connecting scientific information and practices to the environments in which the science was done. Kids should be aware that science looks different in different environments and be empowered to do science in ways that honors their own experiences and the places they know best. So the next time you hear about a study, ask yourself about the context in which that study happened and how it might look if you did it in a local place like your backyard. You might just learn something unexpected. Thank you.